Bonsoir et bienvenue à notre réunion du conseil pour le canton de Harrington pour le mois de juillet. Veuillez noter que cette séance est en cours d'enregistrement. À cet effet et pour la meilleure résolution de l'enregistrement, nous vous demandons d'observer le silence durant la présentation. Good evening and welcome to the council meeting of Harrington for the month of July. Please be advised that this session is being recorded. In order to provide the best resolution of the recording, please remain silent during the presentation. We'll start with the roll call, prise de présence, Chantal Scopino, Present. Julie James, Present. Danielle Saint-Onge, Present. Rob Dewar, Present. Richard Tronquin, Present. And Jerry Clark. Present. We would like to remind you that there are 2 question periods on our agenda to allow citizens to ask us questions at the beginning and the end of each meeting. Maximum time allotted for each question period is 15 minutes. Please limit your questions to 3. Those who wish to discuss a personal or legal situation will be asked to meet with counsel after the meeting to provide your name and phone number to allow us to follow up confidentially on your inquiry. Nous aimerions vous rappeler qu'il y a 2 périodes pour permettre les citoyens à soumettre leur interrogation, soit au début et vers la fin de la réunion. La durée maximale de chaque période de questions serait limitée à 15 minutes. Veuillez limiter vos questions à 3. Si vous avez une question touchant une situation personnelle ou légale, veuillez s'il vous plaît nous voir après la réunion pour nous permettre de prendre vos coordonnées pour faire un suivi de votre situation d'une façon confidentielle. Since our last meeting, we have attended the MRC regular meeting of July 9th and Harrington's work session of July 15th. Depuis notre dernière réunion, nous avons participé à la réunion régulière MRC du 9 juillet et la session de travail de Harrington le 15 juillet. Open, respectful debate is indeed a cornerstone of any healthy democracy, and we share the belief that residents have a right to be well informed, especially concerning decisions that impact the community financially or structurally. That said, we would like to respectfully correct the assertion that Harrington's council operates in a closed or non-transparent manner. In recent years, the municipality has made significant efforts to increase transparency, public access to information, and understanding of council decisions. Un débat ouvert et respectueux est en effet un pilier fondamental de toute démocratie saine et nous, le Conseil, partageons la conviction que les résidents ont le droit d'être bien informés, en particulier en ce qui concerne les décisions ayant un impact financier ou culturel sur la communauté. Cela dit, nous souhaitons corriger respectueusement l'affirmation selon laquelle le Conseil de Harrington fonctionnerait de manière fermée ou non transparente. Au cours des dernières années, la municipalité a déployé des efforts significatifs pour accroître la transparence, l'accès du public à l'information et la compréhension des décisions du Conseil, comme promis lors des dernières élections. These measures include substantial increase in public announcements, active social media communication, that's on our Facebook page as well as on our website. Hiring a communication specialist. Meeting summaries for a greater clarity called the Council's Echo, also available on our website. And detailed project documentation. Ces mesures concrètes incluent une augmentation substantielle des annonces publiques sur notre site web, une communication active sur les réseaux sociaux, notre page Facebook, l'embauche d'une spécialiste en communication, des résumés de réunions pour une meilleure compréhension, soit les échos du conseil, et une documentation détaillée sur les projets sur notre site web. We understand that the latest concern is the lack of public access to the 2 or 3 days of preparatory deliberations prior to formal council meetings. These sessions are designed for an internal review of technical and operational matters and are not public meetings. Inviting the general public to these sessions would undermine the efficiency of council operation and is not a practice adopted by municipalities anywhere. However, any decisions stemming from those discussions are presented and adopted transparently during the official meetings in accordance with legal requirements. This, in addition to the multi-steps of notice and public consultations being provided at the creation of new bylaws. While differing opinions are welcome, We must be clear that assertions of non-compliance with legal obligations are not supported by the reality of the improvements implemented. The Council remains fully committed to operating within the laws and regulations governing municipalities and will continue to evaluate how to serve residents more openly and inclusively. We remain available for constructive dialogue that focuses on facts, not assumptions, and that helps build a stronger, more engaged community. Nous comprenons que la préoccupation actuelle porte sur l'absence d'accès du public aux 2 ou 3 jours de délibération préparatoire précédant les séances officielles du Conseil. Ces réunions sont des séances de travail interne consacrées à l'examen technique et logistique des dossiers. Ce ne sont pas des séances publiques. Et il serait contre-productif et sans précédent d'y inviter la population. Cela dit, toutes les décisions issues de ces discussions sont, comme il se doit, présentées et adoptées en toute transparence lors des séances publiques du Conseil et ouvertes à débat durant nos périodes de questions. Cela s'ajoute aux multiples étapes d'avis et de consultations publiques prévues lors de la création de nouveaux règlements. Les opinions divergentes ont toujours leur place dans une démocratie municipale vivante. Toutefois, il est important de préciser que les affirmations relatives à un non-respect des lois en vigueur ne reflètent pas la réalité des mesures concrètes que nous avons mises en place. Le Conseil demeure pleinement engagé à respecter les lois et règlements qui encadrent les municipalités et poursuivra ses efforts pour mieux servir la population dans un esprit d'ouverture et d'inclusion. Nous restons disponibles pour un dialogue constructif fondé sur les faits dans le but de bâtir une communauté plus forte, plus informée et plus engagée. At our MRC meeting of July 9th, the mayors were provided a presentation by the chief organizing team of the MTQ as to the projects that are expected on provincial roads in the Argenteuil region for 2025, 26, 27. The great majority of the works and budgets planned are associated to the upgrade of Autoroute 50. As for the balance of projects in the Argenteuil region, there are limited improvements planned for provincial roads outside of the replacement of culverts on the Highway 327 and the replacement of the bridge Henri Raby in Brownsburg. Lors de notre réunion de la MRC du 9 juillet, les maires ont assisté à une présentation de l'équipe principale d'organisation du MTQ concernant les projets prévus sur les routes provinciales dans la région d'Argenteuil pour les années 2025, 26 et 27. La grande majorité des travaux et des budgets prévus sont liés à la mise à niveau de l'autoroute 50. En ce qui concerne les autres projets dans la région d'Argenteuil, peu d'améliorations sont planifiées pour les routes provinciales, à l'exception du remplacement de ponceaux sur la route 323-27 et du remplacement du pont Henri Raby à Brownsburg. Subsequent to the presentation, a number of mayors presented their expectations. As for Harrington, we pleaded once again as to the state of disrepair of the 327. The fact that even the deputy minister made comment as to the state of deterioration during her press conference of January 2024. And that we are disappointed to know that the repaving of this section is still not targeted within the list of projects presented. We also pleaded as to the priority repair schedule for Rivington Bridge, which also was not present on the list of projects. We were confirmed that the list was prepared in late 2024. Therefore, Rivington Bridge was not on the radar at that moment, but they were indeed aware of the poor state of Harrington's 327, and that both are to be addressed, but no target date was provided. It should be noted, however, that Harrington was the only municipality in the region that benefited from $13 million of grants in the last 18 months associated to our municipal roads, Rivière Rouge and Harrington, the Harrington Road project, and that Harrington does indeed benefit from a good communication with the MTQ team on numerous issues, according to our administration. À la suite de la présentation, plusieurs maires ont exprimé leurs attentes. En ce qui concerne Harrington, nous avons de nouveau plaidé en faveur de la réfection de la route 327, soulignant que même la députée ministre avait commenté son état de dégradation lors de la conférence de presse de janvier 2024. Nous sommes déçus de constater que le resurfaçage de ce tronçon ne figure toujours pas dans la liste des projets présentés. Nous avons également insisté sur l'importance des réparations prioritaires du pont Harrington qui ne figurent pas sur la liste. Il nous a été confirmé que la liste avait été préparée en fin 2024 et que le pont Harrington n'était donc pas encore pris en compte à ce moment-là. Toutefois, ils sont bien conscients du mauvais état de la route 327 à Harrington et que les deux dossiers seront pris en charge sans aucune date ciblée ne soit toutefois communiquée. Pourtant, il est important à noter que Harrington est la seule municipalité de la région à avoir bénéficié de 3 millions de dollars en subventions au cours des derniers 18 mois. Pardon, 13 millions de dollars de subventions au cours des derniers 18 mois dans le cadre de projets liés à nos chemins Rivière-Rouge et aux routes de Harrington. Notre administration souligne également que la municipalité entretient une bonne communication avec l'équipe du MTQ sur de nombreux dossiers. Finally, this evening, we are presenting our notice associated to proposed bylaw relative to the ownership of dogs in our municipality. Exceptionally, we will also provide an online survey relative to this bylaw to allow input from our taxpayers, which will be available this week on our website and Facebook page. For those who do not have online access, please contact our office to obtain a paper copy of the survey. Enfin, ce soir, nous présentons notre avis de motion relatif au nouveau projet de règlement concernant la possession de chiens dans notre municipalité. À titre exceptionnel, nous proposerons également un sondage lié à ce règlement afin de permettre aux contribuables de donner leur avis. Ce sondage serait disponible cette semaine sur notre site web et notre page Facebook. Et pour ceux qui n'ont pas accès à l'Internet, veuillez communiquer avec notre bureau afin d'obtenir une copie papier du sondage. On that, can I have a proposer to accept the agenda for this evening? Julie, are we all in favor? Chantal?
Yes.
Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Oui.
Merci. Point d'information des conseillers et conseillères. Non, rien. Non, rien. Parfait. Période de questions. Monsieur Fillon.
Bonsoir, Madame Farrar. I recently read a judgment that was rendered in February of this year, where the municipality sued a resident for $42.68 over a taxation issue, not important. $242.68. The municipality decided on a full-blown trial, which must have cost thousands of dollars. How am I supposed to understand that this is a reasonable expense?
Well, when we have someone who refuses to pay what is legally required, that's their position, that they're refusing to pay what is legal. They're refusing, they're saying they're not due, we have the obligation to pursue. It's true the value was minimal, but the issue was a foregone conclusion. The amounts were owed. We do not have the right to say, we're not going to pursue him when he doesn't pay his taxes, but we will pursue you when you don't pay your taxes. The rules apply to everybody.
But how much did we spend to...
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but...
I could tell you that it would be in the thousands. It's not.
Pro bono.
Ça a été fait pour...
À 80% pro bono.
Par
nos avocats.
Okay, fine. But you did lose.
We did lose, that's correct.
So when you say that you were right, you may not have been.
Well, Mr. Filion, as a lawyer, you fully appreciate that when you stand in front of the judge, that judge is the person who gives the decision. Even though
I'm aware of that.
both, yes, I hope so. But even though both sides would certainly be in a situation of feeling they're right and or they're pushing the limits, in this particular case, we were in the right. The judge decided against us. There's not one thing for certain, we were not going to appeal that decision.
I'm sorry?
We were not going to appeal that decision.
We couldn't appeal the decision, Mrs. Park. $242 is not an
Mr.
appeal.
Filion, I'm just saying we have to pursue people who don't pay their taxes.
Mr. Deschamps, pro bono work is usually done for the poor. Okay?
For the what?
The poor. For people who cannot afford to be represented.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay,
It
fine.
could be,
I don't want to argue, Mrs.
yeah.
Park. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
Okay? I have another small question. Minor derogation 2024, 184. This is a garage on...
Is this on tonight's schedule?
No, it's not.
The minor derogation, okay.
It's
It's a past minor
It's a past
derogation?
minor derogation. It's on Route 327.
Okay.
A person built a garage without a permit.
Okay.
And eventually ran into trouble, and he requested a minor derogation to be allowed to have...
I'm not familiar with the file to discuss it like this without having the file in
Well,
front of
somebody
me.
has to be.
No, well, you can pose me the question and I can come back to you, Mr. Filion, but I don't know the thousands of files by
Why
heart.
don't you wait for the question? Let me ask my question, please. And let me finish, please. The CCU turned down the minor derogation. They recommended not to accept it. Then it was here in November, you all turned down the minor derogation and voted against it. Now the garage is completely finished. It's been continued to the point that it is perfectly finished.
Okay.
My question is, how does that happen?
Well, certainly, how does it happen if the owner disregarded the refusal of the derogation and continued? That's how it happened. We'll have to look into it.
Il faudrait savoir lequel.
Mais c'est sur le 327.
30?
We'll have to look into it.
Okay, so we would have an answer next month?
Next month, yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Park.
Yeah. Monsieur Saint-Charles.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
L'association des résidents du lac Harrington, on a décidé dans notre dernier meeting du 1er juillet de faire parvenir une lettre au ministère des Transports soulignant la décrépitude inacceptable, comme vous avez mentionné.
Oui, mais j'ai eu une copie, oui.
Du bout de chemin. Et puis, la réponse est à peu près laquelle on ne s'est pas fait envoyer sur les routes, mais sur les tulipes, en se faisant dire que c'est la responsabilité de notre conseil municipal de communiquer avec eux pour essayer d'avoir des réparations. Mais je comprends ce que vous avez dit tout à l'heure, je ne reviens pas là-dessus.
OK, non.
Mon point, c'est que il y a 2-3 jours, quand on arrive dans Harrington en provenant de Saint-Jovin, juste avant d'arriver de bord Warrington, à peu près 40 pieds du bord ici, de la pancarte, il y a un nid d'autruche.
Oui,
C'est dangereux, extrêmement dangereux. Est-ce que dans un cas comme ça, notre camion ne peut pas aller doper 2 poches d'asphalte froide à 8,99 chaque pour empêcher que quelqu'un se tue? Parce que là,
merci.
Le problème, c'est qu'on a fait une demande, j'ai acheminé une demande au MTQ pour justement venir en aide avec des frais qu'on chargerait au MTQ pour faire les nids de poules.
ouais, parce qu'au moins 5
Mais
sont dans le genre.
on n'a pas reçu une confirmation de leur part. Règle générale, quand je fais un signalement, ça prend de 3 à 10 jours ouvrables avant qu'ils viennent.
Mais ça a été signalé.
On les signale, on les signale.
Oui, oui, on l'a signalé.
Parce que
Celui-là, faudrait que je valide, là, mais lui, il est comme nouveau depuis 2 semaines. là.
il était énorme.
Ouais, il est là depuis 2 semaines. C'est
Il y a
brand new one.
son festival de la mouchoir, à Harrington, le festival des poules.
Wait. Holly?
Harrington, no, Kilmar Road.
Yes?
I thought we were gonna do that in 25, 26.
Kilmar?
Kilmar.
Kilmar's not ours.
No, but you said MTQ presented for the year 2026,
Yeah.
27?
Kilmar's not a provincial road.
So
It's
who's-
Granville-Soleil-Roche Road.
Oh, but didn't we talk about it? Like, in the last year, saying we were gonna do it?
Harrington.
We're doing something.
Harrington, we don't do Kilmar.
Up to
Up to, we will do an actual corner at Kilmar.
But we're not doing Kilmar.
We don't do Kilmar, no, it's another municipality.
Yeah, I'm Josh Carrier,
Yes.
resident of Slavery Lake, and I organized a petition for the relocation of the Videotron
Yes,
tower on Slavery
yes.
Lake. We had 52 signatures.
Mhm.
Since then, Videotron has told me that they've completed the public consultation, but I don't think it was truly a public consultation at all. Rather, it was more a declaration that none of our concerns of the residents really mattered. I sent a complaint to Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, but they required that the municipality, not a private citizen, ask for arbitration. I've come to ask the mayor and the council to ask Innovation Canada to examine this placement of the tower and the other claims made by Videotron. So I'd like to just repeat the issue. The tower is directly on the mountain in front of our lake. And we asked Videotron if they could move the tower further to the north, outside of the range of view of our residents. They say they can't relocate it, but I think that this may be motivated by cost savings rather than feasibility. And so that's why I think Innovation Canada could act as a third-party objective arbiter, and that the council could at least ask them to make the arbitration. Secondly, I'd just like to repeat that by the time this tower is to be completed, we'll already have satellite cellular service in the region. Already on July 15th, Rogers has made available for everyone who's a Rogers client satellite coverage. So the idea of putting up these towers is becoming less and less needed in the region because we're moving to satellite technology. In fact, Bell also is determined to launch satellite technology by next year. So basically, I'm just asking that.
So just to recap, in the first instance, the contestation that came from 45 people with it basically fell under one person because there was a protocol to follow to file a complaint. And we did receive from Videotron all of the correspondence to all of the people that did file their complaint and identifying and responding to specifically the specific questions that were brought to their attention. In terms of the fact that they didn't follow up with 45 people that responded to your petition, I'm going to say it was obviously not conformed to the application to that. As for their position on consultation, they're following a federal directive, and the directive gives them a specification as to how to follow the process of each contestation. So each contestation is done individually, one-on-one. That's the consultation. It's
a divide and conquer strategy, and it works very well for them. And I would say that it's actually up to the municipality to intervene at this point to represent.
I would just like to finish before, because you gave me like 10 things in that one presentation. Okay. In terms of you're saying they refuse to move it, it should be noted that that's already been moved once. That's specific.
Off private land until public.
Doesn't matter where it was. It was moved based on a request. Can you move this? At that point, they looked at the avenues and they did provide. They dropped one process in favor of another process, and they started all the entire consultation process from scratch because the first one would have been finished last October if this one person didn't contest. He contested it, he was listened to, they looked at different avenues. That was their goal. They were to listen to find out, is there other alternatives that meet the complaint of the citizen. So we were provided after each process, because the municipality is really removed from the process. But what we are provided for each one of those processes was all of the correspondence entirely on each aspect. Now, as far as what we could see how they responded, I thought they responded really well in terms of technically providing different aspects of where they tried, how they tried, and the whole process. But it all falls in terms of a process of 3 towers communicating to each other. In terms of, one of the comments did bring that this will be completely redundant inside of a year. We had them go back and to validate what applications are in place that would replace that if we didn't, and would it be and they returned back that on the federal side, they don't have any applications as expected in the near future. So we are still left with a situation where we have a part of our territory, a good chunk of our territory, that does not have that. That leaves for situations where people, mostly the concern is emergency services, are unable to communicate during an emergency situation. In November, we had 2 such cases. We had one senior citizen, Alzheimer's citizen, who got lost, where the emergency vehicles had a difficult time communicating with each other and their home base. And we had another catastrophe that happened at the monastery, where we know the ambulance drivers trying to got lost in the process. And it was relative communications. Our goal is to ensure that we provide our community with a safe environment, and really that they can receive emergency services when they're in need. We know for a fact that the time it takes already to get assistance, like from Lachute, is already 45 minutes. If you can't even communicate, well, that's that much worse. I mean...
Just 2 things. The emergency services will be covered by the satellite cellular, and it'll be up before the towers are. And then the other thing is, when we get the responses from Videotron, we can't take them at face value. They're a major corporation owned by one of the richest men in Canada. Like, we have to have the Canadian authority there to really arbitrate and make sure they are following the rules. How are we to know?
But I understood that the whole process is constantly going back to the federal department that reviews that.
You would think, but that's not the way it happens. The municipality has to ask them, the Canada, to arbitrate. That's how we ensure that the rules are followed.
The municipalities want to have secure access to...
And they will, through satellite.
Possibly...
Mais attends.
Oui.
Satellite pour 30 pompiers. On a eu un événement fâcheux dernièrement que, pour des besoins de communication, on n'a pas pu rejoindre aucun de nos pompiers parce qu'on n'avait pas de cellulaire. Sorry. Je comprends votre point de vue. I understand your point of view. Mais, yeah.
Long story short, our goal is really not to be providing our taxpayers with no landline solution to save dollars. Our goal is really strictly to ensure that security services can get to them as fast as possible. What we know that in the last 2 years, we've had 141 first responder calls, so ambulance calls that came in on our territory, of which we are, I can't imagine that.
I'm sympathetic to that, but the process...
Well, that's our goal. It's not, now, putting aside people who come and visit and get stranded on somewhere in the 327, can't reach it. That, to me, that's really secondary and a luxury. But to provide emergency care to our population, senior citizen population is by far, to me, the most important.
All I'm asking is for the government to verify that Videotron is following the guidelines.
Okay, to me, that's simple to do. Monsieur Landry.
Sur la carte de la RRC, sur le site de Harrington, la carte de la RRC, elle n'est plus mise à jour depuis un certain temps.
Oui.
Elle a été mise à jour par qui? Par
La MRC.
Mais ils disent qu'ils ne vont plus mettre la carte mise à jour.
Mais
Il y a un message qui apparaît quand on joue
nous, on n'est pas responsable pour la MRC. Et cette carte-là, mais j'avais l'impression, parce que je le regardais la semaine dernière, c'est entièrement un nouveau programme. Là.
Il faut cliquer sur le deuxième lien.
Bon.
Ce qui est en rouge, là, c'est que la carte n'est plus maintenue par la MRC.
C'est là. Il y a une autre plateforme qui est là.
Vous descendez et vous cliquez sur le deuxième
Oui.
paragraphe.
Je l'ai vu la semaine dernière, c'est complètement différent.
OK.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Mr. Mahensi, and this is the first time I've been here. Now, we haven't been here because we couldn't come. 3 weeks ago, I got a shock on Kamak Road, how they cut. It is not cut the trees, it's shredded. And now this afternoon we went to Harrington on the White Road.
Yes.
Is it normal that they cut? Is there anybody looking how they're cutting all
Well,
those?
it's these type of works happen every other year, and yeah. And is there some that have a nicer look to it than others? Yes. But what we do find is the regrowth happens very fast, and
But I know I've been here since
yes,
82,
yes,
and they cut normal.
yes.
they
There
cut.
you go.
But right now it's a ravage.
Est-ce que c'est notre équipe?
C'est notre équipe. C'est en fait un genre un peu.
I have pictures.
You have trees with branch,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to cut the trees, and sometimes you have to cut some branches.
But it is
And they took the, I don't know the term
You
in
don't have to
English.
show me the pictures.
And-
I'm familiar with it.
I know what it is. And they took the mechanical brusher, I don't know.
Brusher, that's right.
Yeah, and you just eat the branches, and sometimes it goes too fast and it hit the trees.
It comes down.
It's
Yeah,
splinters.
Yeah.
Splinters all the
Splinters.
It
It's
looks
all-
like hell.
I can tell you that on one of our roads on the west side, they did the whole section, the entire road like that. I was mortified, yet I'm telling you, I feel like saying within 3 months you couldn't tell that it took place. So it looks awful. Yes.
It was just awful. I saw who is somebody is watching this because some of the trees are standing.
Yes.
Half of it is cut off.
Yes.
And those trees are for sure going to die because half of it is gone. It's
Yes,
all
for
open.
sure. For sure.
So
The goal obviously was clearing it
but
and
is
having
that-
better visibility.
Is another environmental things that they tell you what to do, what you cannot do?
Well, no, we do have the right to clear the road and beyond the road, and obviously there are different ways of handling that job.
But they, like somebody was telling me, I went to the city hall before this afternoon because I was really. So they said that they around the same, but I don't see it the same there.
No.
They cut it, but they don't.
You're not going to really compare exactly one area to another, but that's what we do see in that work is sometimes it's a more aesthetic end than others.
Is it also possible that some people don't know what they're doing?
I don't know. I can't respond to that because that's not my specialty. Yes,
It's the nature of the machine. The machine shreds it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I figured.
So you're gonna have, you're gonna have ugly stuff after it's done. It all comes down to cost, how long it's gonna take a person to do it. If they didn't do it that way, it would take years. It would be grown in by the time they finish the road. So it's a thing for efficiency.
to Mrs. Parr's comment, they did that on Harrington Road 2 years ago, and you wouldn't know it was done.
Yeah, maybe I have to go on Harrington Road to see that, because I was really, I was, when I saw that, I
Did
said,
you
I
want to
don't.
say something?
That's going to make a comment. I think, thanks for the comment. We should just go check. Did we follow
Yeah.
our process or not? We'll come
Yeah.
back to you.
We will review that
we'll
and
do
come
a-
back to you.
Yeah.
But I'll take your name and number before you take off.
Okay, okay.
Mr. Mott.
I've got a question. We've got our annual general meeting coming up in August. It's Labor Day, and the road is always a question that comes up. So there's about 600 meters at the end of the road, and I think you're aware of it. You've been in correspondence with, so speaking with on behalf of some of the people that live at that end. Just a question in terms of widening the road to make it equivalent to or close to what you've done on the rest. I mean, the issue, majority of the road is beautiful. It's never been that good, and I can speak on behalf of having been there all my life, my father being there all his life, and my grandfather being there all his life, and my great-grandfather being there.
Oh my goodness.
So we've been taking that road for a long time, and it's never looked better. So I want to thank you for that, but we're just wondering.
Well, what we do, we have the communication in this last week. I was away for a week, but I shifted off to get my questions answered. I had some answers. There's been a back and forth, and I should have more answers this week exactly to address those questions. But widening review, we have to look at the file and answer it without speaking to our director of public works for
As
sure.
long as I have something, or we have something to present at the annual general meeting.
That's in 3 weeks' time. That's no problem.
So perfect. And
Yeah.
then the other question was just kind of follow up to Josh's. So with respect to the tower,
Yes.
understand our concern, having lived with Kilmar when the mine was there.
Yes.
So there was the noise that was coming from the mine that we lived with. There was the dust
Okay.
that came from the mine. So having a tower within.
There's no
eyesight-
noise associated
Okay,
to
well,
that type of tower.
Right.
Okay.
So that is, I think, where, I put my name on that.
Yeah,
On that petition, because I didn't want to see. I'm expecting this big light,
Yeah.
and I was told that there's something in order of sound.
Yeah.
according to
There's
the-
no sound. We were confirmed there was no sound. And in terms of the light, there is a process for them to restrict it and make it less visible.
Okay.
So there's different corrections in that. But I think the biggest misunderstanding is the sound factor.
Yes.
Well, so we've been confirmed there's absolutely no sound associated.
So video
If there's a sound that comes out of that thing, well, I can imagine I'm going to have 95 people knocking on my door. But we've been told, that's what we've been provided, that there's no sound that is emitted from those towers.
So as long as we have everybody's word that there's no sound, that it's going to be not as intrusive as we
Yes,
hope.
sir.
Yeah. And then one third question, the dog bylaw that's just coming
Yes?
up. If you have dogs, but you're only a part-time resident, if you
Yeah.
have licenses.
It's part of the bylaw that we're presenting tonight.
Right. So if we live in Ottawa, you have licenses in Ottawa, do you need them here as well?
No, but
No.
you're asking me to.
No.
Unless you're trying to sneak out of the meeting. But the written document is here.
Yes,
Okay, so
I didn't see
there's
that.
that. Okay, and long story short, without going into much more detail, is for the non-residents of Harrington that have already paid for their dog license, it will be recognized by Harrington.
Well, my heart lives in Harrington. I just live elsewhere
Yes.
for most of the year.
I understand. Yes, Kristen.
Yeah, when she knows you win, it's not a good thing. So I just have one question about that section of road that we were talking about.
Yeah.
You mentioned something in your email, and so did Steve when I was talking to him, about it being like that last section being Crown land? Am I misinterpreting that?
There are modifications in the process of transfer of what was listed as ministère de ressources naturelles, which should be in the name of Harrington, but we're waiting for that process to be complete.
Because I just wondered, because they have cut all the trees down, like they did all the stuff that they did on the rest of the road, like cut all the trees on the side.
Yeah.
They do the weeds and lawn.
Yeah.
They dump a whole bunch of rock and stuff along that section.
Yeah.
So I never thought that there was any issue with.
As far as at the top of my head, it's because when I came back from vacation, I only got half my answer. I wrote to you, and you came back with more questions, and then he was gone. So I have to wait for, I need to review what work was done and what work is planned to be done on that sector of road.
Okay, because I know that my neighbors have been saying, they saw the email because you copied it to all of us, and they were like, what does this mean about the Crown land? And I'm like, so that's what I was trying to say.
I didn't bring up Crown land.
I think you mentioned it somewhere, but
I think Steve might have talked to you about that, but I didn't mention Crown
I'm
line.
throw him under the bus.
I didn't mention Crown line, but I did mention I needed to speak to my director of Public Works to be able to respond to you.
Yep.
And I will.
And you responded very, very quickly, so
Okay.
I appreciate everything you said.
Okay.
Thanks.
I think we exceeded our 15 minutes.
Was it only 15?
15 minutes, I think we exceeded it. Alors, on continue avec l'agenda. Commençant avec l'acceptation 6.1, séance ordinaire du 16 juin. Can I have a proposer to accept the minutes of the meeting of the 16th of June? Danielle, all in favor? Chantal?
Oui.
Julie?
Yes.
Rob?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Oui.
Merci. 7. Gestion financière et administrative. 7.1. Deposit of the expense report for the directors. We have for general administration, we have $69,039, of which the great majority of it, I have $10, $20, $30, $40,000 is associated to renovations at the LRCC. Those are the big ticket items. As for voirie of $26,769, I have $2,796 of grading, $8,649 of culvert on White Road, $5,121 for signage, and $6,332.82 for calcium. Those were the big ticket items. Acceptation des comptes à payer et des comptes payés pour le mois de juin. We have a total of $675,783.60. Est-ce que je peux avoir un proposeur pour l'acceptation des comptes à payer valeur $675 783.60? Danielle, all in favor? Chantal? Julie?
Yes.
Rob?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Oui.
7.3. Dépôt du rapport financier de juin. The council has received the deposit of the financial statement for the month of June. 7.4. Prise par paiement d'une propriété pour impôts impayés. 7.4. This process is to proceed giving our lawyers the mandate to proceed to take over a piece of property for unpaid taxes for many years of the value in the area of $1,400. Est-ce que je peux avoir un proposeur pour cette Jerry? Are we all in favor? Chantal? Julie?
Yes.
Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Oui.
And Richard?
Oui.
Autorisation pour l'inscription à Revenu Québec. In order for us to be able to communicate with the major departments of the provincial government, we have these access codes associated to Click Revenu, and we are asking that Steve Deschênes is the representative for Harrington for Clic Revenu. 7.5, c'est une autorisation pour inscription à Revenu Québec relatif à leur service Clic Revenu où la résolution est pour mandater M. Steve Deschênes pour autoriser et pour Revenu Québec de communiquer avec lui à cet effet. Can I have a proposer? Richard, all in favor? Chantal? Julie?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Rob?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Yes.
7.6, résolution pour la confirmation du statut d'employé permanent, directrice de finances, Madame Luce Tremblay. Madame Tremblay has been with us now for 6 months as adjointe directrice financier, and we are very satisfied with her work, and her permanence is being confirmed, and she's being upgraded to directrice de finance. Can I have a proposer for that, Jerry? All in favor, Chantal?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Oui.
And Richard? Oui. 7.7, autorisation de procéder à un placement long terme. Authorization to proceed to booking a long-term investment. We have identified $2 million that we can place for 1 year. We went out to 2 banks. One offered for the 2 years $65,000 and the other one $67,840. Whoops, excuse me. 60. Oh, c'est bon ça. Okay, so, sorry, excuse me, the first offer was $65,000 and the second offer was Banque Nationale at $69,580. Ce montant, c'est pour 1 an?
Oui.
Alors, pour 2 ans, c'est 2 fois?
Oui.
Oui.
Oui, oui, ok, c'est bien. Alors, can I have a proposer to explain to Rob? All in favor, Chantal?
Yes.
Julie? Danielle?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Oui.
That's nice. Est-ce que je peux avoir une réponse?
69.
Merci.
No.
7.8, autorisation de paiement à la corporation 91296558 Québec Inc. David Riddle Excavation pour les travaux effectués sur chemin Harrington sous le numéro de projet J24027. This is in relative to resolution we completed 2025-05-R100, and it covers the authorization to pay Mr. David Riddle Excavation $307,713.05, which represent the first progressive payment number 1. Alors, la résolution, c'est pour payer à la corporation David Riddle Excavation 307 713.05, taxes incluse. Can I have a proposer? Jerry, all in favor? Chantal? Oui. Julie? Yes. Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Oui.
And Richard?
Oui.
Merci. 7.9, autorisation de paiement à Excabro Excavation pour travaux de remplacement de 4 ponceaux effectués sur le chemin Rivière-Rouge sur le projet numéro G23-025. Authorization of payment to go to Excabro Excavation for the replacement of 4 culverts on Rivière-Rouge, of which the total is $237,801, tax included. 237 801, taxes incluses. Celui-là, c'est le premier paiement des comptes progressifs numéro 1. Oui. Je viens juste de dire, oh, c'est ça ou ça? Excuse me, it's not 230, it's $236,142 tax included. Can I have a proposer? Richard, all in favor? Chantal? Danielle,
Oui.
Rob,
Oui.
and Jerry.
Yeah.
Avis de motion et règlement. Dépôt et avis de motion présentement le projet de règlement d'emprunt numéro 376-2025 concernant les travaux sur le barrage de la rivière Perdue et autorisant une dépense totale de 815 036 et décrétant un emprunt de 513 473. On s'est parlé le dernier mois, ça se peut-tu, ces derniers mois, il y a 2 mois, relatif à notre projet barrage Lost River. Il est prévu d'avoir multiples sources de paiement ainsi qu'une subvention PAFMAN qui va compléter le projet en totalité. Par contre, la subvention vient toujours après que tous les travaux soient payés et les factures reçues. Alors, pour s'assurer de ne pas avoir une lacune entre les 2 remboursements, on procède maintenant à un règlement d'emprunt pour le 513 473. Pourtant, on anticipe avoir un remboursement total suite à soumettre notre demande de subvention. This request for loan bylaw 376-2025, which covers the amount of $513,473 on the total project cost of $815,036, is in anticipation of the period of time between receiving the funding we have already negotiated with the MTQ and Revenue Quebec, leaving just the grant associated to the replacement of the dam. There is a period of time where there will be a gap between receiving those 2 the last funding of the grant. Therefore, we are proceeding now with a loan bylaw to ensure that we have the account covered. We can't do the loan bylaw after the work has been done, but it has to be done before the work has been done. That's the depot. I need a motion for the deposit. Rob. 8.2 is the adoption of the same projet de règlement. Exactly what I just explained to you, but now it's the adoption of the bylaw. Can I have a proposer? Jerry, all in favor? Chantal? Julie?
Yes.
Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Wait, this is part of
Richard?
the adoption of the project.
Sorry?
The adoption of the projet de règlement.
It's a projet, the adoption, notice, that's right, it's an adoption of the projet de règlement, yes. Next. 8.3. Dépôt et avis de motion et présentation du projet règlement numéro 372-2025 concernant l'encadrement et la possession d'un chien. Est-ce que c'est vous qui faites la présentation?
Non, c'est Rob.
Rob? We have, first of all, we had a committee set up to handle this, made up of Rob, Chantal, and Julie, who worked on this presentation, and which is what we're presenting. So the first step is really, you're going to have to read that bylaw if you want to know. If you have a dog, you want to read that bylaw, okay? If you have any questions, you can definitely come back. This is the bylaw that we are going to allow participation on survey on our website or Facebook page over the course of the next week if you will have any input regarding them. Are there... Wait.
I can say the highlights.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, very quickly. So, of course, it's to have better control of the dogs in our territory. It's mostly for safety and protection of dogs that could other city, you don't have to repay here, but just share the license that you have from the other city. So we're going to be aware of which dogs are on site. And the idea is to do a public consultation, so get the feedback that you guys are really in support of the new regulation.
But I wonder how many dangerous dogs are there?
We don't know, to be honest.
But we need the rule to find out.
But we have had a number of incidents of dogs that have created problems, and in fact we had to euthanize a particular dog a few years ago because it was basically a danger to the local residents.
One is too many.
Can't you oblige the people that they take the dog for training? If you have a
Okay,
trained dog,
Chantal?
I just want to mention that the provincial government is, we have to put, every municipality has the obligation to do this.
Yeah.
It's a provincial law. It was a copy and paste regulation, except we adjusted it to Harrington in the sense of, the cost of having a medal for a tag for your dog. We're not doing it annually, we're just doing it once in a lifetime of a dog.
in Montreal, you pay every month, every year.
Other municipalities, yes, we could, but we decided that, we wouldn't do that, so. Anyway,
So,
but it's just
these
that
are types of things you can discuss in the sondage. But we do have the obligation to have it, so we worked it in the best means possible for Harrington's taxpayers, because we do have a different base. So, in that respect, and we do have, for those who are interested, we will do a public consultation before our next council meeting. So council meeting's at 7 p.m. At 6:30, we'll have a public consultation on the topic.
What date is that?
Sorry?
What date is that?
Third Monday of August.
Third Monday of August. Third Monday of the month is always the...
I don't know that.
OK. Dans le website. Alors, pour commencer, ça me prend un proposeur pour le dépôt et avis. I'm going to take Richard because you're on the committee, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Richard, can I have a proposer for the adoption of the projet de règlement for the dogs? Jerry is proposing. All in favor? Chantal?
Yes.
Julie? Yes. Danielle?
Oui.
Rob? And the next step, because that particular bylaw touches also and works alongside the nuisance bylaw. So the nuisance bylaw is also being modified slightly to incorporate what, if I can just get to it. Dépôt et avis de motion, présentation de projet de règlement numéro 377-2025 relatif à règlement numéro 264-2016 encore. À des fins de concordance du règlement 372-2025, il y a lieu de procéder à une mise à jour du règlement sur les nuisances. Actuellement, les normes relatives à la garde de chiens sont édictées et différentes du projet de règlement sur l'encadrement et la possession de chiens. So, long story short, because we are proposing a possession of dog bylaw, we also have to tweak our nuisance bylaw so that it balances with that. Can I have a proposer for the avis de motion? Julie, can I have a proposer for the adoption of the projet de règlement numéro 377-2025? Jerry, are we all in favor? Chantal? Oui. Julie? Danielle?
Oui.
Rob?
Oui.
And Richard?
Oui.
8.7. Dépôt et avis de motion et présentation du projet de règlement numéro 378-2025 amendant le règlement de zonage 192-2012. Alors,
C'est pour les bâtiments accessoires. Je permets la construction des bâtiments accessoires.
et on a ce projet en arrière. Oui, je l'ai vu en focus, je l'ai pas vu en finale. Alors, 8.7 is the deposit and motion of presentation change of bylaw number 378-2025 specific to the allowance provided for the where a bâtiment accessoire can be placed on a specific property. So, long story short, it's modifying due to certain limitations on, it deals with two separate types of property. Waterfront property has a certain set of rules, non-waterfront property has other sets of rules, and this particular amendment is to ensure that to allow the necessary space where a bâtiment accessoire can be placed on a property. Can I have a proposer for the notice? Danielle, can I have a proposer for the adoption of the projet de règlement numéro 378-2025? Anybody? Rob? Are we all in favor? Chantal?
Oui.
Julie? Danielle?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Oui.
9.1 sécurité publique. Nous avons eu les interventions. Mais normalement, je fais une présentation de sécurité publique.
Ah, sorry. Moi, je trouve en avant.
Oh, okay. 9, sécurité publique. In the month of June, we had 2 interventions, plus our inspections of equipment, security equipment, of which the total firefighter cost for the month was $976.58. 9.1. Octroi du contrat pour le projet de rechargement granulaire sur le chemin de la Rivière Rouge. Suite à un appel d'offres, further to a request for bids for the reloading of chemin Rivière Rouge, we have received 2 bids. One from David Riddle for $396,163.60, and the second from 94756905 Quebec Inc., also known as Cotton Miller, for $386,747.16. Inasmuch as both bids were conformed to the specification, the lowest has been retained. $386,747.16 taxes incluses. Un appel d'offres pour rechargement, 2 soumissions David Riddle qui était plus cher que Cotton Miller à 386 747.16. On a retenu le 386 747.16. Can I have a proposer for that? Rob, all in favor? Chantal?
Oui.
Julie? Yes. Danielle?
Oui.
Richard?
Oui.
And Jerry?
Yes.
Embauche d'un nouveau pompier pour le service incendie de Harrington. Hiring of a new firefighter for the service incendie de Harrington, of which we have thank you.
Chloe,
So which we have in terms of the resolution is Chloe Bigra, and to take effect immediately. Can I have a proposer civil. In as much as we have a regular job to do, I think it's every 10 years, ça se peut-tu? C'est chaque 10 ans de faire cette adoption du plan de sécurité civile?
Il n'y a pas vraiment... Il faut suivre la loi provinciale.
Parfait.
On était correct au niveau des délais, sauf qu'on a fait une mise à jour. Et tant qu'à faire la mise à jour, on a fait une refonte totale du plan de sécurité civile.
There we go. So, adoption of our civil security plan of action. We are looking at modifying that and rescinding the previous one in favor of the new plan of action, which details specific functions for specific people, including coordinator municipal, Steve Deschênes and Mathieu Dessureau, coordinator de site et mission transport, Neil Swale and Jonathan Roger, mission administration, Catherine Rollins, Heather McMillan, mission communication, Patricia Massey and Heather McMillan, mission secours aux personnes et protection des biens, Neil Swale, Jonathan Roger, mission service aux personnes sinistrées, Barry Smith, Faulkner, Ellie and Norm Downing, and mission service technique, Jonathan Roger and Neil Swell. Can I have a proposer for this new plan of action? Richard, all in favor? Jerry?
Yes.
Rob? Danielle?
Oui.
Julie? Yes. And Chantal? Urbanism and environnement. This, the sommaire des permis émis. This month we started with 56 permits in the process at June 1. We received 25 requests. We issued 24 permits, leaving a balance of 57 at the 30th of June. 11.2. Demande de dérogation mineure numéro 2025-0055 visant immeuble situé au 292 chemin White. Matricule 1985 64 64 94. Monsieur Deschênes va nous faire une petite présentation des faits. Peut-être.
On va le voir, le mot de passe.
Non, il est
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was getting cold though.
No, I know, that's okay. You can blow my sweat. How many permits are in here?
We're seeing a lot of stuff there.
25 incoming, 24 issued, 57 in progress.
That is a lot.
We've been in the 50s month after month for quite a while now.
bon.
No?
Problème d'Internet, connexion sur le réseau.
Oh, OK.
Alors, j'ai toujours prévu le coup, si ça ne fonctionne pas bien, d'avoir de la bonne vieille méthode de papier.
Oh, c'est bien ça.
Oh,
C'est bien. Encore mieux ça.
It shows that you're not done.
That's right, old-time paper method.
It shows the entry.
I prefer it.
Alors,
Me too.
j'ai des copies pas pour tout le monde, mais j'ai quelques copies.
When it's on paper.
I just want
Like
to
11 is best.
Yeah.
Un bon projet.
Steve, you have connection
You
now?
have it at the bottom, yeah.
Oh,
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, no?
No.
C'est encore mieux à copier.
Now the settings, for this one?
moi j'ai la.
Vous avez le vôtre? OK. Donc, on a reçu une demande de dérogation mineure pour, on avait mentionné, le 292 chemin White. Pourquoi on a reçu une dérogation mineure? C'est que durant la construction, on s'est rendu compte que le bâtiment accessoire était plus haut que le bâtiment principal. Alors, on a demandé d'arrêter les travaux et on est allé mesurer. Et suite à la constatation, effectivement, le bâtiment accessoire est plus haut que le bâtiment principal. Donc, à partir de ces informations-là, le propriétaire fait une demande de dérogation mineure. Donc, à la première page, celle-ci, est-ce que vous comprenez tout bien le français? Oui.
Say yes.
Just say yes. That's it. Answer yes. And for those who haven't, but long story short, we had provided a building permit for a secondary building. When we went and did our initial inspection of the works in progress, we've spotted that the building was higher than what is allowed by our bylaw, specifically by 28 inches. And so we put a stop work on the project and informed the owners, of which they had then the right to come back and ask for a derogation.
Excellent.
Merci.
Excellent, Mme la mairesse. Donc, comme Mme la mairesse a dit, il y a eu une demande de permis pour un bâtiment accessoire qui a été émis. Alors, donc à la première page, on voit le site où c'est localisé. On peut voir que c'est on peut voir qu'on est habitué, là, la première page. On peut voir c'est très en côte. C'est sur le chemin White, en face du lac Green Lake. Le petit Green, non, le lac Green. Exact.
OK.
OK.
C'est au bout du petit.
Si on voit la page suivante, on peut voir le type de bâtiment qui a été construit sur une plateforme. Et là, on comprend pourquoi que la hauteur est plus élevée que prévu. C'est que le bâtiment principal est plus bas que le bâtiment accessoire qui est en arrière sur le buton. Alors, avec la plateforme, c'est là qu'il a dépassé son 28 pouces. OK? C'est la page numéro 2. C'est bon? OK. À la page suivante, on peut voir en photo le chalet, pas le chalet, mais le bâtiment principal avec la hauteur, et on voit en arrière complètement que c'est plus élevé en termes de terrain, en termes de pente de terrain.
Sur la petite photo, là, en fait, celle qui est à gauche, est-ce que c'est un deuxième bâtiment accessoire?
Oui.
C'est un deuxième bâtiment accessoire.
Oui. Le permis était accordé selon les règlements de l'urbanisme.
On a le droit à deux bâtiments accessoires.
Oui.
OK. Bon, la localisation du 292 chemin White, je pense qu'on peut aller à la dernière. Non, vous avez fait une meilleure présentation que la mienne, je vais vous laisser continuer. Mais dans les critères d'évaluation, est-ce que les travaux ont été effectués de bonne foi? Est-ce qu'il y a eu un permis d'émis? Effectivement, oui. Est-ce que la demande respecte les objectifs du plan d'urbanisme de façon générale? La réponse, c'est oui. L'application du règlement cause-t-elle un préjudice sérieux au requérant? Effectivement.
Ça, j'ai pas compris la dernière phrase.
C'est parce que c'est difficile à comprendre.
Oui. L'application, c'est difficile à comprendre?
Non. L'application du règlement cause-tu un préjudice sérieux?
La réponse, c'est oui. C'est non, excusez-moi.
La réponse, c'est oui.
La réponse
T'as
est
dit oui?
oui. OK. Ensuite, la demande portait.
Cette ligne-là, je peux dire qu'il est en débat.
OK.
Ce point-là, on a débat?
C'est en débat parce qu'il faut valider vraiment l'aspect préjudice. Alors, numéro 4, la demande porte-t-elle atteinte à la jouissance des propriétaires des immeubles voisins? Non. La demande a-t-elle pour effet d'aggraver les risques en matière de sécurité publique? Non. La demande porte-t-elle atteinte à la qualité de l'environnement? Non. La demande est-elle exceptionnelle et revêt-il un caractère mineur? Oui, on parle de 28 pouces. Même en considération des pentes puis de l'élévation, c'est 28 pouces.
C'est un grand terrain, et pas visible d'aucun voisin, et pas visible du lac, et pas visible d'en arrière. Il est pratiquement invisible. Donc, quand on est sur le chemin web, on ne le voit pas. Lorsqu'on est sur les voisins, les limitrophes, ils ne le voient pas, compte tenu de la densité de la forêt et compte tenu de la hauteur de la canopée.
Le CCU a déclaré, suite à leur analyse du dossier, était égal, c'est-à-dire 50-50. Alors, le CCU rejette la demande. Le conseil a reçu la demande et a évalué toutes les étapes et nous sommes rendus là. Avant de procéder, j'aimerais avoir vos questions. Avez-vous d'autres choses, M. Filion?
Est-ce que les personnes avaient?
J'ai personne d'autre.
Le CCU,
Oui.
ce que le CCU a dit, c'est qu'il y a 2 personnes qui sont en faveur, 2 personnes qui refusent et une personne qui ne veut pas répondre. Alors, le CCU a malheureusement
refusé.
Pardon?
C'est refusé. Rejeter le dossier.
Il n'y a pas de recommandation. Ils ont manqué le bateau de dire ce qu'ils avaient à dire.
Oui.
Ce qui est supposé être leurs obligations. Je trouve ça regrettable, c'est probable, mais c'est comme ça.
Oui.
Bon. Ensuite, moi, j'ai certaines observations parce que je ne sais pas si c'est quelle est mon opinion, parce que je n'ai pas tous les renseignements. Je vous en avais demandé, Mme Père, vous en répondez là, ici sur plusieurs. Mais ma première observation, c'est comment se fait-il quand on fait une demande pour un permis de construction, on est censé remettre un plan et remettre toutes les dimensions.
Oui, bon. Absolument, oui. Oui.
C'est ce qui a été fait.
Oui.
Alors, ça a été fait. Alors, comment se fait-il qu'on n'a pas pu voir sur le plan qu'on était pour dépasser la hauteur? Comment ça se fait que l'inspecteur...
La plateforme.
La plateforme n'était pas sur le plan?
La plateforme était sur le plan, mais la plateforme n'a pas été mise sur le terrain avant d'être construit, le calcul.
Non. La remise non. Okay, là. Si la personne fait une demande pour un permis de construction, il doit révéler ce qu'il va faire. On ne peut pas dire, je n'ai pas dit que j'avais une plateforme qui était pour monter la hauteur de ma bâtisse.
Sur les papiers que j'ai laissés, on les voit, les plans qui ont été soumis. Ils sont à l'intérieur.
Alors, en gros,
premièrement, moi, avec respect, M. Deschênes, là, ce sont les élus qui vont voter sur ce point-là. Okay? C'est le rôle des élus. Moi, ma question, c'est comment se fait-il que le plan qui vous a été présenté pour obtenir une dérogation mineure ne correspond pas à ce qui a été construit dans les faits? Est-ce que vous avez la réponse?
Bien, une des réponses qu'on a, c'est que c'est la première fois qu'il fait de l'autoconstruction, qu'il a fait une erreur.
Bon, ok, c'est une erreur. Alors, à ce moment-là, si ça demeure, et là, la personne peut demander, il dit, j'ai fait une erreur, j'ai l'occasion de demander une dérogation mineure, et là, c'est une question, est-ce que c'est de bonne foi ou de mauvaise foi que l'erreur a été faite? Et si il y a une question de mauvaise foi, bien, la personne n'a pas accès à demander une dérogation mineure. C'est ce que la loi dit. Là. Okay? Alors, donc, vous avez à répondre à ça. Là.
Oui, mais notre position, c'est qu'il n'a pas fait par mauvaise foi, c'était une erreur. Et quoi? On parle de 28 pouces. Personne n'est impacté. Regarde, toutes les questions sont répondues comme on a suivi nos questions. Alors, est-ce que vous avez d'autres choses à dire sur le... Bon, vas-y, M. Fillon. Vas-y.
Si vous laissez parler. Donc, vous avez à vous adresser à ça, et il semblerait qu'on a passé l'éponge là-dessus. Pas de problème. Après ça, le building est pour une motif professionnel. Quel est le motif professionnel qui va être exercé? Quelle est la profession qui va être exercée dans ce building-là?
C'est une profession professionnelle. Monsieur Fillon, vous avez tout le dossier parce que vous faites une demande d'accès à l'information, vous avez acheminez le dossier. Vous avez toute l'information.
Non, je n'ai pas cette information-là. Ben, écoutez, c'est moi qui le sais, l'information.
Mais pour moi, son aspect...
De toute façon, je ne veux pas jouer un jeu avec vous. Là. Moi, la demande a été faite pour un bâtiment accessoire pour exercer une profession dans cette bâtisse-là. Est-ce que vous savez c'est quoi la profession? Est-ce que vous avez vérifié que la personne fait partie... Thérapeute de quoi?
Mais là, c'est parce qu'on rentre dans la vie privée, professionnelle d'une personne. Ce qui est important, c'est qu'au niveau administratif, lors de l'émission du permis de bâtiment accessoire, le zonage le permettait, l'estimation du bâtiment le permettait, la hauteur qu'on nous a mis sur un papier, sur un plan, était légale. Et lorsqu'il y a eu le constat de dire ça a l'air un peu plus haut que prévu, et là, c'est là que la dérogation mineure a été demandée. Et là, c'est là qu'elle a été présentée au CCU. Mais au niveau administratif, tout a été fait en bonne et due forme. Au niveau de l'émission du permis.
Je conteste.
Okay.
En fait, je ne conteste rien. Je veux juste savoir sur quelle base le permis a été émis. Et il a été émis sur la base de construire un bâtiment accessoire pour un motif professionnel. Je me fais demander c'est quoi le motif. Vous me dites que c'est thérapeute, ça, c'est pas une profession thérapeute. Il faut être psychologue, il faut être différentes choses. Là. Je vais juste vous dire, ça devrait être un souci. Marquez bien, M. Deschamps, je suis impressionné par ce document-là parce que finalement, là, on est en train de passer au vrai motif. J'ai souvent critiqué la question des dérogations mineures et je suis content que le comité progresse là-dessus. Je vais juste poser certaines autres questions. La dernière chose, c'est qu'en principe, une dérogation mineure, le principe de base d'une dérogation mineure, c'est qu'on ne peut pas faire son projet à cause d'un règlement et à cause d'un petit motif. Okay? Quand on peut faire son projet en respectant les règles, on n'a pas ouverture à une dérogation mineure. C'est comme ça que ça fonctionne dans les faits. Alors, je veux juste vous le mentionner, ce projet-là aurait pu être construit en respectant tous les règlements de la municipalité. Donc, il faut se demander, comment se fait-il qu'il est déjà construit et que là, soudainement, ça prend une dérogation mineure.
Mais on vient
quand
juste
il aurait pu
expliquer
être
ça.
construit.
On vient juste expliquer ça, M. Fillon.
Quand on regarde l'implantation, il y a eu une sous-évaluation du niveau du sol naturel versus du terrain versus le bâtiment.
Allez-y, alors, prenez une décision. Allez-y.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui aimerait participer? Parce qu'on a plusieurs ici.
I just had one quick question, sorry. So when you calculate the 28 inches for the platform, so when you get a plan made, quite often the engineers will put for unforeseen. So you don't necessarily know what the subsurface is going to be like until you've done the excavation. But when you're putting in a plan, you don't always have that.
No.
So if it's 28 inches, is it 28 inches at the maximum, or is it an average of 28
No,
inches?
it's a 28 from the highest point, so that we take it from the tip. We take it from the tip of the house.
So why don't you use an average? Because
Well,
if the platform
that's our
is
bylaw.
within confirmation at the back,
Yeah, that's an
From ground
interesting
level.
point, Mr. Mott. We should look at that
Because it's
in
kind
terms of
high
being
it's
the
not,
average.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
The
yes.
bylaw specifies how to measure.
Yes, and as it stands, the way we presented it is from the top, the tip, the very highest point of the house versus from the ground to the very highest point to the same thing for the bâtiment accessoire, from the ground to the very highest point. And that is 28 inches, a little,
I just know in our bylaw for Ottawa,
yeah?
it's an average.
Okay. Well, we can look at that. We can definitely look at that.
Our bylaw specifies how to measure.
Okay.
It's already determined. Last thing I have, when you do work at home, whether it's in an accessory building or in your home, you do have to have some kind of a certificate.
Oh, yeah?
Un permis
Do you
d'occupation.
have that for your
My what,
profession?
Mrs. Clark?
Do you have that for your profession?
Well, what do you know about my profession?
I'm asking you, do you have that for your, because I'm not aware of that. I work from home all the
Okay,
time.
but you're not supposed to address
she's
the
having a
person
line.
specifically.
I'm just saying, but do you
Okay?
have that?
I'm an attorney, Mrs. Carr, and
Yes.
I'm an attorney when I shuck corn, okay?
And, sorry?
And I do the
Yeah, me
dishes,
too.
okay?
I mean, I'm not an
But
attorney,
you're
I'm
not
a
an
mayor,
attorney.
and I shop corn from my house.
There you go.
So,
But your question is very impertinent, Mrs. Carr.
it's not
No,
important.
no.
I asked you the question. I asked, it was an honest, no
You're
holds.
asking
I'm
the
asking-
person in the
Yes.
room
Do you, I'd say,
to
do you have
justify
that?
to you what they do
No,
professionally
come on.
or not.
I asked it as a
You asked
friendly
it, Mrs.
request.
Carr. You were
Mr.
very wrong to ask it.
Okay, fine,
My
so,
question is, when you do exercise some profession at home,
Yes.
do you require a permit or not?
I'm not aware of it.
I believe, well.
I'm not aware of it. Here, I would imagine if you had a garage, it might be different, but if you were a bookkeeper doing a couple of hours of bookkeeping at home, I don't think you need a permit for that. And very, very hard to control, quite frankly. But this is a different topic than our derogation, right?
Well, I'm
So
just
let's,
wondering, you're doing a derogation on a professional building where they're going to have clients, it sounds.
has nothing to do with the derogation.
Well, you're making an exception, I would say.
No, I'm not
to a
making an
person
exception
fixed in a
based on
state.
the profession of the owner.
Decision is based on the
It, the
building.
is based
Yeah.
on,
The building.
the derogation is attached to the land, not the owner.
What they do inside the building,
You
Holly,
don't need a business.
Holly, the derogation is in favor of a piece of land, not a person.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was just
So the
wondering.
piece of land has no profession.
No, because the building permit has a requirement.
Yeah, so just fix the mistake.
In this particular derogation, it's not pertinent, it's not part of our derogation.
So you don't know anything about it, that's
I
fine.
didn't
That's up to
say
you.
that. I didn't say that. We've studied it for hours. We know a lot about it.
It's an
No.
exception.
Is there any other issues you have regarding the 28 inches? Anything else? So can we have
28 inches to me is borderline. It is-
28 inches?
It's borderline in those circumstances. If you were building a two-story house,
Mr.
28 inches.
Mr.
would not-
Filion,
it's
you
just-
know,
that is your
you
decision.
know, like I do, that there are no inches, feet, meters, or percentages attached to MINA. You know that. It's, okay, so let's just finish that discussion there.
Go
it's
ahead.
within,
Can-
it's within 15%.
Well, you don't use.
We
you're
don't
not
use
supposed to
percentages.
use
We don't
percentages.
use,
Every decision is a special case.
That's right.
And you can have your opinion. You can say
Thank
it's
you.
minor, you can say it's major. Two people said it was
I'm
major.
saying
I
it's
didn't see
within
you.
15%.
That's the beauty of this thing.
is there any other questions or points to be brought up? I will be looking for a proposer to accept the derogation. Jerry, are we all in favor? Chantal? Julie?
Yes.
Danielle?
We,
Rob?
Wait.
And Richard?
Thank
Thank
you for doing such a good job at it.
Well,
Of
thank-
going at
thank you. I
all the
appreciate-
criteria once.
I appreciate that. I feel we've been doing a good job all along the ways, really. I don't think we have that. In terms of derogations. 13. Dépôt d'une demande d'aide financière auprès de la MRC d'argent. So,
It's,
Holly?
that's how things work.
Okay. Well, you let us know when we're ready to go.
Who did? You're asking me?
Both of you, if you want to chat or let us know it's
I
okay.
didn't say.
13.1. Dépôt d'une demande d'aide financière auprès de la MRC Argenteuil dans le cadre de programme FRR volet 4 pour le projet de cuisine commerciale au marché Lost River. We were accorded, our territory was accorded $700,000, or actually $698,744 relative to projects to be applied in our Harrington municipality that was associated to revitalizing. This offer of projects was opened to nonprofit organizations, the municipality, businesses, and the like. They had to meet a certain criteria process. Marché, Lost River has submitted an application, and the council has accepted the application based on the fact and on condition of that a cuisine commerciale, a commercial kitchen, would be the project in question, and we've limited the participation of that fund up to $35,000. The major criteria different between a business versus a nonprofit or a charity organization on our territory is that the ratio is distinct. For a commerce, it's 50-50, 50% the grant and 50% that the owner of the business has to put in, whereas all other cases, it's 90% 10, whereas it's only a 10% input by the organization. Can I have a proposer for this resolution based on the condition that the program, the project is a commercial kitchen? Chantal? Okay. Oh, proposer. Sorry. Rob, do you want to propose this?
I'll propose this.
Jerry?
No.
Richard?
Oui.
Danielle?
Oui.
Julie?
No.
Chantal?
We haven't seen the new proposal of the kitchen, so it's no.
It'll be done, the application is conditional to commercial kitchen, and I will provide my acceptance of the application. So that is,
What's the count?
sorry?
What is the count?
What is the count? It's 4 in favor and 3 against. Période de questions. Monsieur Landry.
Ma question, je vais mettre à la fin de ma question, la ville subit des frais d'entretien des chemins à tous les ans, des augmentations par rapport à l'inflation. Vous subissez ça, toujours, quand vous faites vos entretiens des chemins, puis à tous les ans, vous avez de l'inflation.
C'est certain que la grande majorité de nos gros projets sont toujours sur APL. Fait que c'est difficile à comparer. Oui. Si on dit à l'interne, si on parle de la régie interne de nos employés, mais c'est certain que les salaires de nos employés augmentent à chaque année.
Chaque année,
oui.
En réalité, la majorité de nos travaux,
oui.
sont des contracteurs.
Oui.
Les associations, oui, depuis plusieurs années, ont une subvention. On a parlé d'une subvention.
Oui.
Pas sur de l'autre.
Oui.
L'autre, c'est nouveau.
C'est 2 ans depuis qu'il a été modifié pour un, puis un paye la nouvelle, plus la nouvelle.
Le 1000 $ par kilomètre, ça fait depuis longtemps?
Non, pas depuis longtemps.
Ben, 5-6 ans?
Non, je dirais 2 ans max. Non.
Pas à 1000. Ça a monté jusqu'à...
Mais c'est pas grave, M. Landry, continuez avec votre question.
Je vais vérifier mes documents.
Non, je dirais 2. Est-ce que c'est possible 3? Ça me surprend. Mais certainement 2 ans. Puis pour le déneigement à 500 $, ça c'est cette année.
Le déneigement, c'est nouveau. On vous remercie pour ça.
Oui.
On est bien contents.
Oui.
Mais c'est ça, parce que vous
mais le règlement a été changé en 2024 pour le 1000 $. Ça a été le règlement a été modifié en 2024.
Comme vous avez dit, modifié, augmenté ou...
Non, le règlement en totalité a été modifié en 2024.
Moi, je parle, je veux, on pourrait avoir le montant.
Je pense que c'est réaliste puis acceptable, mais ça serait au prochain conseil de voir à ça pour un renouvellement 2026.
OK.
Mais c'est réaliste. Je pense qu'on pourrait...
Mais je vais vérifier le temps, le 1000 ça fait...
C'est pas grave. Si on regarde, que ce soit 1 an ou 2 ans, c'est facile à calculer. La question que vous demandez est réaliste.
C'est pour savoir si on peut bonifier ce 1000
Je pense que oui, mais ça serait plutôt au nouveau conseil, parce que c'est quelque chose prévu pour 2026.
OK.
Puis ça serait au nouveau conseil de prendre cette décision-là.
Ma demande était sur de savoir s'il y a possibilité de projeter ça.
Oui.
C'est parfait, merci.
Oui. Yes.
I like what the municipality has done with putting the transcripts on the website of the
Yes.
municipal meetings, but the June transcript's not out yet.
Yeah.
In
I think
written form.
we have to approve it tonight.
Oh, you have to approve
That's what,
it.
we approved it tonight, so it'll be up this week.
The one from June.
The one from June.
Ah,
We
okay.
can't post it before it's approved.
I didn't realize that.
That's okay. On that, je cherche un proposeur. Thank you, Rob. Let's close the meeting. All in favor? Jerry?
Yes.
Richard? Chantal? Julie? And Danielle?
Oui.
Merci. Thank you for coming out. It's lovely to see